The opposition is becoming increasingly outraged over the breach in parliament, and rightly so. Suspension of 14 MPs is only adding fuel to the fire. They insist that the Home Minister Amit Shah must clarify his position. In show of their outrage, what they have done is that they are now trivializing the overarching national security issue at hand. For example, RJD's Manoj Jha has suggested that if any opposition MP had issued passes to the intruders, they would have been subject to the UAPA, while Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Uddhav Sena has claimed that educated yet unemployed youths have been subjected to the UAPA law, while the Home Minister is still evasive, has not answered Parliament. Sample the reactions.
कौन कह रहे हैं पता नहीं, हमारे एक साथी हैं सीपीएम के जॉन बिटास, घटना होते ही उन्होंने कहा मनोज अगर हम या तुम होते ये पास इशू करने वाले तो हम पर यूएपीए लग गया होता। कहीं उनकी चर्चा भी हो रही है। मैं मानता हूं एमपी को बहुत तरह की चीज फिल्टर करना मुश्किल होता है, लेकिन कम से कम चीजों को पब्लिक डोमेन में तो रखना होगा। उस पर कुंडली मार के बैठने से बात नहीं बनेगी।
The opposition MPs opened a new front protesting against the decision to suspend 14 MPs, accused the BJP of shielding their own MP Pratap Simha. They asked why there are different yardsticks.
See, the BJP has been repeatedly saying that they are the only ones who can protect this country. They can't even protect the parliament. The Prime Minister could have been there inside the parliament. They couldn't protect their own Prime Minister. And then they're saying we are politicizing the issue. The country and the government is to be held accountable for whatever happens. Any breach of security in the country, they are to be held responsible.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के उस एमपी से अब तक क्या पूछताछ हुई है, इसके बारे में देश को कुछ पता नहीं है, उस पर कोई कार्रवाई नहीं। सरकार पूरी बेशर्मी के साथ अपने सांसद का बचाव कर रही है। अगर वो मुसलमान होते तो अब तक क्या हश्र होता। वही मीडिया जो उन्हें प्रदर्शनकारी बता रहा है वो अब तक आतंकवादी बता रहा होता। अगर वो सरदार होते तो अब तक खालिस्तानी बता दिए गए होते। दरअसल भारतीय जनता पार्टी अपने सांसद को बचाने के लिए हर संभव कोशिश कर रही है। किसी की एक फोटो निकालेगी, ये फालतू की बातें हैं, ये मुद्दे से ध्यान भटकाने की बातें हैं। हमारा पूरा विपक्ष सस्पेंड कर दीजिए आप, लेकिन हम हर दिन यही सवाल खड़ा करेंगे कि गृह मंत्री आए और जवाब दें।
The BJP alleges that there is clear evidence of Congress and TMC link to at least Lalit Jha and Neelam Azad. Mamata Banerjee's party has denied this accusation. The BJP also claims that Home Minister is not obliged to explain as the case falls under the jurisdiction of the Lok Sabha Speaker.
HM क्यों आएंगे? HM क्यों आएंगे? लोक सभा के अध्यक्ष का यह विषय है, लोकसभा सचिवालय का विषय है। HM क्यों आएंगे? वो जिस तरह से राजनीति कर रहे हैं, राजनीति का जवाब मिलेगा उनको। भारतीय न्याय संहिता, एविडेंस एक्ट, IPC सभी की जो है चर्चा होनी है। 140 करोड़ लोगों के लिए कानून बदलने जा रही है। 1860 के कानून जो है माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में बदले जा रहे हैं। शायद आम लोगों को जो राहत मिलने लगेगी, इससे उनकी समस्या है। वो चाहते हैं कि लोग जेल के अंदर बंद रहें। वो चाहते हैं कि 50-50, 100-100 साल के जो लिटिगेशन कोर्ट में चल रहे हैं वो चलते रहें।
जो चलाते हैं उसमें उन्होंने बेच दिया और उन्होंने ये वायरल किया। आउटसाइड का जो वीडियो उन्होंने वायरल किया, उसके बाद वो सब फोन स्विच ऑफ करके राजस्थान के तरफ भाग गया था। अभी उसको पुलिस कल रात में अरेस्ट किया है। लेकिन उसके सब दुख का बात है, ये ललित के साथ अभी टीएमसी का MLA विधायक तापस रॉय और बहुत सारा युवा नेता का यहाँ पे पिक्चर आ रहे हैं। क्योंकि जहाँ पे आप लोग देखेंगे कि टेररिस्ट का कोई डेरा अगर बोलेंगे तो पश्चिम बंगाल इसमें मतलब एगिए बांग्ला जो बोलता है फर्स्ट है। ये बार बार क्यों तृणमूल का लोग के साथ ही, बांग्ला के साथ ही ये टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग का कनेक्शन होगा। मतलब इंडिया का लोग क्या चाहते हैं, इंडी पार्टी का जो एलियंस का लोग क्या चाहते हैं कि देश को तोड़ दे, टुकड़े टुकड़े कर दे।
Let's open this up. RP Singh, national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, commentator, needs no introduction really. Maluk Nagar, member of parliament of the BSP. Maluk Nagar was one of the first to have overpowered the intruder. Maluk Nagar ji, swagat hai aapka. Dr. Riju Datta, spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress. Selam Dharnadiran, spokesperson of the DMK, and Tehseen Poonawalla completes the panel. Gentlemen, good evening. Maluk Nagar साहब, पहले मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहता हूं, वैसे आपने इस पे पहले भी बताया है जिस तरह की राजनीति हो रही है, लोग शायद भूल गए ये कितना सीरियस ब्रीच था। तो आप एक बार लोगों को याद दिला दें कि क्या हुआ था।
देखिए, अभी तो हम बैठ के बात करने की स्थिति में हैं। वहां जब 0 आवर चल रहा था, 5-6 मिनट बाकी थे, पीछे एक दड़ोम जैसी आवाज आई तो लगा कुछ गिरा है, किसी का पैर फिसल गया, किसी ने धकेल दिया किसी को। जब पीछे मुड़ के देखा तो दूसरा आदमी ऊपर से कूद रहा है। पहले वाला उठ के भागा और जिधर से निकलते हैं उधर नहीं गया, वो डेस्क से चढ़ के पहला पे जंप, दूसरा जंप, तीसरा जंप ले रहा था। तो आगे से बेनीवाल भागा उसकी तरफ को, साइड से मैं भागा और उसको दबोचा और 4-5 MP आगे थे। फिर तो जैसे ही दबोचने को थे तो उसने जूता निकाला। तो जो उस समय हमारा एक्शन था वो ये था कि 2001 में 13 दिसंबर को जो घटना घटी तो उनको उग्रवादियों को बाहर रोक लिया था। अब की बार तो अंदर आ गए और ये जितने भी MP हमारे सब बाहर को भाग रहे हैं, ये पीछे से पक्का 100% गोली मारेंगे और भागने की तो गुंजाइश थी नहीं, तो पकड़ लो ताकि ये गोली ना मार पाए। तो डर पूरा था दिमाग में, फिर भी पकड़ने की तरफ बढ़े हम। तो जैसे ही उसके बिल्कुल नजदीक पहुंचे उसने जूता निकाला तो डर थोड़ा कम हुआ कि ये वेपन नहीं है, ये जूता फेंक के मारेगा। लेकिन जूते में से उसने कुछ निकाला, सो कॉल्ड गैस बम कहो, सो कॉल्ड कलर बम कहो। तो उस समय तो डर थोड़ी देर के लिए कम हुआ, लेकिन जैसे ही वो गैस हुआ, पूरा धुआं पीला पूरा थोड़ा सा नीला कहीं से, तो ऐसा लगा कि कुछ देर के मेहमान हैं हम, आंखें भी जाएंगी और ये सांस घुट के अब निश्चित ही केमिकल वेपन है, निश्चित ही मौत होने वाली है, मरने से पहले इसे मार लें। तो इस वजह से उसके साथ में जो घटना घटी, सेल्फ डिफेंस में कहो, फिर तो हाथ में भी नील पड़े, जो हुआ ठुक करके उसकी पिटाई की। फिर सिक्योरिटी वाले आगे ले गए उन्हें बाहर, दोनों को खींच करके, और उन्होंने भी उनकी पिटाई करी। पर लेकिन आज जो स्थिति है, एक तरफ तो ये बिल्कुल क्लियर कट है कि सिक्योरिटी का बिल्कुल फेलियरिटी थी और ये सर्टिफिकेट इश्यू हो गया क्योंकि वो अंदर आए। तो इसको किसी भी चीज से जस्टिफाई नहीं किया जा सकता, किसी भी चीज से जोड़ के, क्योंकि अगर फेलियरिटी है और वो अंदर आए तो कल को आतंकवादियों की हिम्मत बढ़ सकती है। विदेश में बैठे जो लोग देश को कमजोर करना चाहते हैं उनकी भी हिम्मत बढ़ सकती है।
और नागर साहब, शायद इसीलिए दिल्ली पुलिस जिस तरह से इस केस को जांच कर रही है, आपको भी पता होगा,
वो भी गलत है।
जांच में जो चीजें सामने आई हैं।
खत्म कर रहा हूं।
जी बोलिए सर, बोलिए।
जो बीजेपी का MP है उसको भी जांच के दायरे में लाना चाहिए और इस समय संसद को और सरकार को, दोनों पक्ष और विपक्ष को, उनका व्यवहार भी दोनों के लिए एक जैसा होना चाहिए। और हम सारे सांसदों को, पक्ष और विपक्ष को, देश राजनीति नहीं करनी चाहिए। 2024 को ध्यान में रख के सब कर रहे हैं। देश को देखना चाहिए, देश की संसद को देखना चाहिए। बाबा अंबेडकर साहब ने जो संविधान लिखा, उस संविधान के सबसे बड़े मंदिर पर अगर कोई डॉट लगता है उसको देखना चाहिए। हम सब इकट्ठे देखने चाहिए। संसद चलनी चाहिए। संसद नहीं चलती तो बाहर बैठे हुए लोगों की हिम्मत बढ़ती है, उग्रवादियों की, बाहर बैठे लोगों की, और जिन लोगों के मुद्दे उठने चाहिए उनके भी मौलिक अधिकार।
संसद चलनी चाहिए। संसद क्यों नहीं चल रही है? व्हाई आर ऑपोजिशन लीडर्स डिसरप्टिंग द हाउस? तहसीन पूनावाला।
गुड इवनिंग प्रनेश। एट दी ऑनसेट, मालूक नागर साहब, आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रगुजार है। हम सब, पूरा देश आपका शुक्रगुजार है, और आपके साथ जितने भी मेंबर्स ऑफ पार्लियामेंट थे जिन्होंने इमीडिएटली एक्शन लिया, उन लोगों को पकड़ा। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच, पूरे देश की तरफ से आपको सल्यूट करते हैं। Pranesh, let's not be political here. I'm asking you this as a journalist, as a friend, as an Indian. Forget politics for a minute. Tell me another democracy where there is a terror attack on the Parliament of India, a terror attack, and the Honorable Prime Minister and the Honorable Home Minister do not address the country via Parliament. Tell me another democracy. If this was not a terror attack, why are those people charged with terror laws? Rightly, they're being charged under UAPA, rightly. Then how can the Prime Minister and Home Minister not address the country via Parliament? The Honorable Home Minister yesterday was on a TV show. Pranesh, let the nation hear. The Honorable Home Minister yesterday was on a TV show. Is a TV channel more important than the Parliament of India? How can you refuse to address Parliament? What is this business of why are you doing politics? The responsibility to run the Parliament, as said on 30th September 2011 to Times Now by the late Arun Jaitley ji, is The responsibility to run parliament is that of the government. Now, the 3 layers of security outside parliament directly report to the Honorable Home Minister of India. Forget every other question. Why are we not being addressed? Point number 2. I am not a fan of Mahua Moitra. I've in fact been very critical of her. The TMC spokesperson is here. But if Mahua can be suspended for giving a login ID, for which no rules exist, but she's been rightly suspended, I think it's the right thing. How can you not even question the BJP MP for not being responsible for his passes? How is this allowed? One last thing, and Anand will throw more light on this because Anand also is a scientist. Even now, what is the chemical analysis of what was that chemical substance that's come in? Why is that not before the country? And Anand rightly will tell you that it takes 48 to 72 hours for you to know what it is. How are people roaming around freely, those on whom the chemicals fell? You've not taken them for a detailed test. Mr. Nagar is here. He's not gone for a detailed test. These are complex tests. You've not done it. Look at the gravitas at which you're teaching it. You're still treating it like a yellow colored powder. Maybe it was, but maybe it was also a chemical weapon or biological weapon, which takes 72 hours, sometimes even a week to take effect. What is your seriousness? Nothing.
Okay, there is no seriousness, no statement from the Home Minister. Let RP Singh respond to it. But Tehseen, I just want to say, when you quote the late Arun Jaitley, when he said the responsibility of running parliament is on the government, he did not, in saying so, mean that the responsibility of disrupting the house is on opposition. So let's keep that in mind.
He actually said that. He actually said that. You're wrong on that.
No. I have read the statement that you're quoting from, and if you read it carefully.
I'll read a statement of August 26, 2012, spoken outside Parliament. Arun Jaitley ji says, "We don't want the government to escape route through discussion. We will therefore continue to disrupt the House." Sushma Swaraj ji on September 7, 2012 said, "Not allowing Parliament to function is an absolute form of democracy." These are 2 statements. You may cross-check me on these 2.
RP Singh ji, the opposition will disrupt because they are seeking answers. It is your role to ensure that the discussion happens, and more importantly, why are Prime Minister and Home Minister silent on this?
Well, Pranesh, I'll appreciate if the search team can show what sort of disruption used to be during Arun Jaitley ji and Sushma Swaraj's time and what sort of disruption is happening now. We see Member of Parliament doing bhangra on the tables in the Parliament. Last Parliament session, I've seen Sanjay Singh doing a bhangra in the Parliament session. So what is supposed to be done at Jantar Mantar, that sort of disruption, or what is supposed to be done as per the decorum of the Parliament, that sort of disruption? You go too well, you don't allow the system, the complete system to function, and then capsize the system and then say, oh, this is merely disruption. I mean, there's a difference. I mean, when the Prime Minister speaks, you don't allow the Prime Minister to speak, and otherwise you ask for Prime Minister to speak. And when Home Minister says, okay, I'll answer the questions which is under my domain, you say, no, you are not supposed to answer. It's the Prime Minister who will answer. Last time it happened. I mean, when Home Minister said, I'll address everything, whether it's the Manipur, I am the Home Minister, let me answer. You said no. But coming to this present subject, Rajnath Singh is the Defence Minister of the country. He has spoken in the Parliament. And then this issue is not only related to the internal security, it's related to the broader spectrum of the security, because there is some other elements who has claimed much beforehand that we will disturb the Parliament, and also they have announced certain rewards and awards for all these people who has done this disruption, or who has tried to create that ruckus, or who has thrown that sort of chemicals inside the Parliament. Now all this is matter of investigation, and Parliament is domain of the Speaker, and let Speaker do what he has to do. He has already formed a query committee under the DG of the CRPF, and let that committee inquire into every aspect of this attack, and let them come out with the report. Once the report is there, then probably everyone can participate in the Parliament discussion. Where was the lapses? What should be done? Where was the mistake? What was the mistake? How did we allow people to carry those smoke canisters in the shoes? And why those plastic canisters couldn't be reacted through the wherever machineries they come through? So all those reactors they come through. So all this need to be answered. But also there's a question being raised on Pratap Simha. But let me answer that also today. There's a clear indication that Rekhi was done twice before they did this attack. Now, who issued passes during those Rekhi? That also need to be answered. Was it TMC MP, was it Congress MP, or was it someone else? That also need to be answered. Or was Pratap Simha used as a tool so that when the final thing has to happen, we use Pratap Simha and then all the blame come to the BJP? All these questions need to be answered.
No, so you have the probe agencies. No, get to the root of it, sir, because you know this blame game is actually undermining the probe, and this is a betrayal for the Aam Aadmi. What are the voters? This is a game of mockery going on. Dr. Ranganathan, put this in the right context, please.
No, absolutely. Good evening, Pranesh, and good evening to my fellow panelists. You are absolutely right when you say that there is a blame game going on, and I commend you for it. Because the fact of the matter is, I need to make 3 points on why we are missing the woods for the trees. And before I do so, can I please commend and congratulate Mr. Maluk Nagar. Thank you so much, sir, for being a brave heart, and what you've done. The whole nation is grateful. So thank you so much, Mr. Nagar. Pranesh, there are 3 points. Number 1, as my dear friend, the BJP spokesperson, Mr. RP Singh, has agreed that this was a terror act. And everyone agrees that Parliament is the most sacred, hallowed temple of democracy. So a simple question needs to be answered. That 2 days have gone, and the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, the two most senior-most members of the government, have not uttered a word on a terror attack on the most hallowed temples of democracy. It is unprecedented. This has to be asked. Will the Prime Minister wait for the complete investigation to happen and then comment? Has he done it for other terror attacks? The answer is no, he hasn't. From 26/11 to Pulwama, he has immediately expressed his concern over such terror attacks. So why is he silent this time? And I'll tell you why. Because this again is the tragedy, that opposition is browbeating him into silence, and it does it, and maybe it's his problem, maybe opposition, but the fact of the matter is, it is not a political problem for me at all. Mr. Pratap Simha is not at fault out here. Ironically, the Andolanjeevi and urban Naxals are accusing him of giving a pass to an urban Naxal. मतलब ये कल को अगर वो अरुंधति रॉय को आने देगा, पास दे देंगे, तो उनको गालियां पड़ेंगी क्या? I mean, this is scary. What is needed to be done is very simple, and here the heads have not rolled. The heads that have rolled are on the lower rung. They are parliamentary Lok Sabha officers. Somebody needs to ask, why was there not a backscatter X-ray machine that could detect a plastic canister carrying a bomb, when such machines are routinely used in airports? And that is the reason why these people smuggled in plastic container containing bombs, and they smuggled into the parliament, but they never took a flight with them. They always traveled by train. This is absolutely shocking. So I'm not shocked by 5 Andolanjeevis or urban Naxals being caught. You will always find hundreds of such people. But I'm shocked by that they were able to smuggle in bombs. That needs to be investigated. Isme political wo kahan se aa gaya sab? I don't understand that, Pranesh.
Dr. Riju Datta, can we not unite, speak in one voice and ensure that Parliament House is safer than what it is now?
Look, you know, the late Sushma Swaraj ji once said that तू इधर उधर की बात न कर, ये बता काफिला क्यों लुटा, मुझे रैजनों से गिला नहीं, तेरी रहबरी का सवाल है. It is not about who did what or politics, and I agree with Dr. Ranganathan. I don't want to do politics over it. There are simple facts in front of this country. Fact number 1, the parliament was attacked by terrorists on the 22nd anniversary of a terrorist attack, where on that same day in the morning, the Honorable Prime Minister and the Home Minister garlanded our martyrs. If there was no oath ceremony, probably the Prime Minister or the Home Minister could have been sitting inside the Lok Sabha, because they are both Lok Sabha members. So the state of the country is that 543 parliamentarians that decide the fate of 150 crore Indians are not safe themselves. The Prime Minister's safety is at stake. The Home Minister, when Dr. Ranganathan said that the Home Minister has not spoken a word, sorry sir, the Home Minister had spoken a word, Dr. Dr. Ranganathan. And you know where he has spoken about this issue? On the conclave of another national media channel. Can you imagine? He can speak about this on the conclave of a national media channel. He cannot go into the parliament and answer the opposition, because parliament is the place where the government is responsible to the people and answerable to the opposition. You have sacked 15 MPs, suspended 15 MPs. Mahua Moistro, you have said national security threat because she said she has shared her login ID and password. Pratap Simha, no answer on that. Brij Saran Singh, no answer. Ramesh Biduri, no answer. Pragya Thakur, no answer. Is this a joke? I do not understand this. Are we to say that am I safe? Pranesh, do you think you are safe? Dr. Ranganathan, being a hardliner and a clear speaker, do you think he is safe in this country? If the Prime Minister, Home Minister, the parliamentarians are not safe, the point is there. Let's not shift the goalpost or go into a different narrative. Question is, how to young kids, whether they're Andolanjivis, urban Naxals, whatever. I have gone as a visitor into the parliament and they have not allowed me to go to the washroom without a guard, a person, going with me, and they have taken even 5 rupees coins out of my pocket. How did 2 unknown kids or urban Naxals, Andolanjivis, terrorists for that matter, get inside the walls of the parliament when the Lok Sabha is in session and burst gas bombs?
Yes.
It could have been a live bomb. It could have been a warfare. 20 MPs could have died. Do you
Right.
think we would
Maluk
have
Nagar
dead now if
wants
20
to say
MPs
something.
would have died?
I get the point, Dr.
I
Datta.
salute Maluk Nagar for what they did.
Right. Maluk Nagar जी, आप हाथ उठा के कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं?
जी, मैं ये कहना चाह रहा हूं कि देखिए, 2 चीज बिल्कुल क्लियर है. बहुत ही ज्यादा डेथ थ्रेटनिंग थी और बहुत बड़ी बात है. बीजेपी के एमपी को भी दायरे में जांच के लाना चाहिए. ये यहां तक बिल्कुल सच बात है.
नहीं तो नागर जी, बीजेपी के एमपी जो हैं प्रताप सिम्हा, वो जांच के दायरे में नहीं है, ऐसा कौन कह रहा है?
देखिए जो बातें उठ रही हैं, मुझे पूरी बात खत्म करने दो. जो हमारे साथी कह रहे हैं कि हेलो
जी, बोलिए नागर साहब.
देखिए जो मैं कह रहा हूं कि जो यहां की सुरक्षा की जिम्मेदारी माननीय स्पीकर साहब की है, और आज अगर ये अड़ जाए कि गृह मंत्री आके बयान दें, तो गृह मंत्री जी सरकार को सोचें कि अगर मांग कर रहे हैं तो उन्हें चले जाना चाहिए. पर अगर इस बात पे अड़ करके संसद नहीं चलने देंगे, जो 1952 में 5 साल में 677 सीटिंग थी और इस बार में केवल मात्र 331 सीटिंग हुई हैं अब तक. 1.5-2 साल चले गए कोरोना में, पिछले 4 सेशन चलने नहीं दिए, केवल स्पेशल सेशन चला है. तो आज ये सोचना पड़ेगा, पार्लियामेंट अगर रोकते हैं देश की बदनामी हो रही है, और जो उग्रवादी संगठन हैं उनकी हिम्मत बढ़ रही है. विदेश में बैठे हुए लोग जो देश को कमजोर करना चाहते हैं उनकी भी हिम्मत बढ़ रही है, और जो संसद का काम है वो बिल्कुल हो नहीं रहा है. और अगर 4 सेशन ऐसे ही चले गए पिछले, तो क्यों तो इस लोकतंत्र प्रजातंत्र में जो बाबा अंबेडकर साहब ने संविधान लिखा, तो क्यों तो चुनाव हो रहे हैं?
ठीक है, उसका जवाब नागर जी लेंगे. बीजेपी स्पोक्सपर्सन है आरपी सिंह जी. डॉक्टर रंगनाथन, आई एम कमिंग टू यू. लेट मी क्विकली ब्रिंग इन मिस्टर सेलम धर्नाधिरन. What is your take on this, Mr. Dharnadiran? Because, as politics has clearly overshadowed the probe, people are saying it is undermining the probe every minute.
See, with or without politics, this is a new low for India. How brazen 2 people enter the new parliament building, built at thousands of crores. I mean, yes, and they come, release gas canisters. Luckily, as of now, we think the gases were not poisonous. What if it were poisonous? What harm it could have caused, right? And what is more brazen by the incumbent BJP government is that when the parliamentarians questioned that their life is a threat, they need answers from the Home Minister, they need proper investigation, they need to, and when they ask for questions, they are suspended. But the BJP parliamentarian released the pass, he is not suspended, no questions asked. How is it? How brazen is that? Right, like this is, in fact, even in suspension of
No, I think,
parliamentarians,
Mr. Dhanadhiran, I think you're confusing the two issues.
One DMK let me complete. One DMK parliamentarian, let me complete, sir, please don't interrupt. One DMK parliamentarian was in Chennai, was not even in the parliament. He was suspended. Say for what? Saying he was disrupting the house.
No, that is bizarre.
They are not able to do properly.
That is bizarre. I agree. I take that point completely.
There was no proper rapid response team.
That is bizarre, and the person who's done this should be suspended. How can you have a situation where the person who's not in house is penalized? Dr. Ranganathan, I mean, you know, this is...
How can you suspend?
No, I understand, Selam, I get your point. But Dr. Ranganathan, you know, let's talk about the larger issues. Some people, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Ranganathan, some people are confusing the issue. The suspension of these 14 MPs has got nothing to do with what happened in Lok Sabha, the security breach.
No, I think couple of points I need to make out here. Number one, nobody has been suspended, and we've all seen the proceeding. Nobody has been suspended for merely asking the questions. They have been suspended for creating ruckus and indulging in anarchy. There are two different things. There is a way of asking questions by the honorable MPs inside the parliament. If they don't adhere to those laws and rules of the parliament, then yes, why shouldn't they be suspended? I mean, do we want the parliament to resemble a fish market? Number two, I think again I stress on this. Just imagine, and as the DMK spokesperson also said, rightly said, that what if it was not just a mere smoke bomb? And we still don't know. We still, because it takes 48 hours for people to find out if at all there were anthrax spores in there. Pranesh, I'm telling you how scary it is. Let me just give you an example. 1 gram of anthrax contains 1 trillion spores. That is enough to kill 100 million people. And if you can smuggle in that, and President Bush is on record saying that anthrax can be smuggled in and dissipated using a small canister, all hell would have broken loose. I mean, people, thousands, tens of thousands would have died. Why are we taking this so lightly? It is just beyond me. Absolutely beyond me.
Dr. Datta, I'll come back to you, but let's get the answers from the BJP spokesperson. Tehseen.
One more question, then you can...
Okay, Tehseen, make your point.
Look, to the BJP spokesperson RP Singh ji, please tell us that these MPs like Mr. Nagar, etc., who fought, they had that yellow powder on them, and as Dr. Anand is telling you, it takes 48 to 72 hours. Did you do the radio tests? You didn't do it. Did you do the biological tests? Here are the MPs, ask them. You didn't do it. You've done no comprehensive tests. You are on you're hanging by the thread. That's not how this is dealt with scientifically. This should have been dealt with scientifically. You only are hoping that that's yellow colored powder. And that is the problem. Your callous attitude is what is people objecting to.
Callous attitude. RP Singh, respond to that quickly, then we move on.
I'm sorry, Tehseen, you're not aware of the investigation. I've seen it on the TV itself that
Mr. Nagar is here.
All those particles have been picked and probably they would have been sent to the laboratory also. Can I, Tehseen Saab, did I interrupted you? So, it's there on TV. I will send you the pictures where the officers who are investigating has picked up the material and has sent it for the test to the laboratory, would have sent it for the test for the laboratory. But that point aside, I mean, let the investigation happen, and then obviously all answers will be given in the parliament. No one is going to run from the questions at all. But don't hijack the parliament, don't create ruckus in the parliament. I mean, you have all the right to ask questions. But last few sessions I have seen the parliament is being hijacked, and the Jantar Mantar is coming to the parliament. What happens at the Jantar Mantar or other protest site is coming to the parliament. The parliament is there to debate, ask questions, and there are rules under which you can ask questions, and the way boards through which you have to go through to ask questions. But the bigger question still says they are asking for Pratap Simha. I say, how about the 2 rekhis which are done earlier? That need to be answered.
No, this blame game, you know, this blame game is really a disservice. In the beginning.
Give me a second.
Mr. RP Singh, I'm not, please, let's today. I was glad that at least on the panel we have consensus that on this matter, let's rise above politics, speak in one voice, but let's leave it that for the moment. Let's see what comes out of the probe. One can only hope that when the House resumes on Monday, we can have constructive debate and discussion without any disruption. I thank all of you for joining us. Viewers, we are moving on.